Make it quick. I'm Betty Gabai. I'm the CMO at Zentap. We provide the most effective automated marketing tools to make sure that agents stand out in today's competitive landscape. That includes social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn posting, agent websites, lead generation, and videos. So we'll show you guys some examples of everything we do through our dashboards that you could create or that we create for you.
Excellent, Betty. Thank you. And great to be here with you guys today. I'm Dave Lehman, the president and COO at Birdeye, and looking forward to the conversation today to talk about, what everybody cares about. How do we get more clients? How do we generate more leads? How do we work with them through the process in the most effective way? And then, the way we think about it, how do you use your absolute happiest clients, your happiest customers to drive more clients and more customers? So looking forward to the conversation.
Yes, so thank you again for being here. And, we are in an unprecedented time. The pandemic obviously caused a lot of shakeups in all industries, I would say. Real estate fared better than most. And now that hopefully we're at the tail end of this pandemic, where do you think the real estate industry is headed, and what challenges lie ahead?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been absolutely crazy, and in either way, not a normal time for anybody. At Birdeye here, we work with over 60,000 businesses to help them attract, convert, and delight their clients. And we hear from, in that 60,000, thousands of them are real estate agents. And, now has been a really unprecedented time. Like you said, low mortgage rates, just high demand, so many people moving because of the pandemic, right? This work from home thing, all of a sudden everybody's can up and move to a whole new area, for real.
Things, where you don't have to live in the city anymore, and you have a lot of options, right?
Yes, and I'm here in the Bay Area. There's a lot of people moving out, though there's still crazy, bidding wars going on and the rest of it. So again, it's never been quite this crazy. And what we've seen through this is that no matter what's going on, people want to stay connected. And the best thing for realtors and really for any business is, how do you maintain that one-to-one connection when it's not the same? It's not like we're just going to go meet in person, or we're going to drive around from property to property to go look at things. The communication, the form of interaction that we're having with our clients is completely different, and they want to do it on their own terms. And so everybody's had to up their game. I think realtors have always been great about texting. Like that has been their mode of communication. And the stats we've seen, 73% of realtors are like constant texting. But what we've really found in this time is that it's got to be a little bit more of a broad approach to that communication channel. You got to obviously be texting, but it's got to be, people want to hit you on Facebook, right? People want to be web chat, come to your website and get questions answered from you. People want to be on Google and ask questions, even Instagram, right? Like all of these places, people are going to ask good questions, and to keep up in this market, it's really important that you're on all of those channels, answering quickly, making it completely seamless.
I'm glad that you said answering quickly. I think that's part of the key. The longer that time frame goes where they ask the question and you answer, the more you lose that interaction that you could potentially have.
Well,
would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, look, I see it on two fronts. One is obviously when you're trying to attract a new client, right? Like either a buyer or a seller, coming to you, they've got a lot of options out there, right? Like, and realtors are busy, all the rest of it. If somebody comes to you and asks a question like on your website, or they come to your website and they don't see that, hey, how do I get in touch with something quickly? Like, you're going to lose out on that client. They're going to go to the next person who has availability, who's going to respond quickly. So there's that whole part of the process. But then it's when you're in in the process, right? Like, things go so fast, like properties are on the market and gone like that, right? Like, that is happening so quickly. Same thing, the level of expectation of how responsive you need to be to your clients has never been higher. And if you're really going to give them a great experience, you've got to be able to communicate with them quickly on that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yes, and also you said something that I think is really important, is that being on all the platforms, right? Some people feel like, oh, well, I'm on Facebook, I don't need to be on Instagram, or I'm on Google My Business, I don't need to be on social media sites. But you want to be everywhere where your clients are. And just because you have a presence on one of those platforms doesn't mean that your clients or even your prospects do. So you want to make it easy for them to access you no matter where they are.
Yeah, you want to make it easy for them, but honestly, you want to make it easy for you too, right? Like I think that's why so many people like text is it's one place. One of the things we do at Birdeye is we have what's called a unified inbox, where there's a mobile application on your phone and it looks just like text messaging, but everything comes in there. So they could be hitting you on text message, great, but they could have left you a voicemail. Great, let's get that there. They could have left you something on Facebook, you know, a new client coming in that way. Shoot, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but like they could have left you a review on, you know, on Google, and like all of that would be in that same place as well. So making it just as easy for you as a realtor to text back and forth with them as you would on any of these other channels makes it super convenient as well.
Great. And I just want to mention for our attendees, if you guys have any questions, feel free to type it in the question box and we will get to questions. We have time for Q&A at the end and we will answer them at the end or maybe throughout our conversation. And Rachel, someone sent a message that they didn't get the link for the webinar. Where should I send them so they can access it?
Unfortunately, if they didn't sign up for the webinar because the webinar is already in process, they're not going to be able to sign up for it.
Okay.
If they did sign up for it, they just need to go search in their email, Zentap webinar, and something should come up.
Got it.
Yeah.
And we're also recording this, right? So we can
Yes.
send it out to others as well.
Absolutely. And so everyone who's registered will be receiving a recording of this after. So, all right, well, let's move on to the next topic here. What's the first step that realtors can take to build a communication strategy, Dave?
Yeah, look, I think we've talked about a little bit that there is this idea of texting, right? And that realtors get it, and I think they understand that the open rates are so much better than email or other channels, and it's convenient because they're on the go and, you know, in the car a lot of the day, and that's key. But what people don't realize is like it's not always so easy for people to know what number to text you at, right? Like it's not clear. Now, one of the things that we tell people is that, you know, make your landline textable. So like when somebody finds you on Google, that same number can go two directions, and they sort of text you or they call you. It's all coming from that same number, right? Like I don't know about you guys, but I get a phone call from a number that I don't recognize, and I'm not gonna answer it, right? So if you can centralize that phone number, it's key. But the other way is, you know, be able to sort of promote that phone number in multiple places. Make sure it's clear, you know, on your listings, on your social media, all the rest of it. By putting that really clearly, you know, from the beginning, you know, text me here to get fast answers, like goes a long way, because again, that can go directly into your unified inbox. The other is, again, texting is great for mass outreach as well, right? Like a new, you know, I don't know, one of the great things that, you know, again, you have it in your cell phone, but if you have it on a platform where you have all of your contacts in one place in something like Birdeye, you can send a mass, you know, email out and say, hey, a new property just came on, or even segment it based on where they live or what their interests are or whatever. And you can say, hey, I want to reach out to people quickly. Again, maybe you got your pocket listings, you got whatever, you can communicate, you know, to the whole group that way in a really effective manner with mass texting. And then the other, and again, this is especially when you're collecting new clients, so many people like think, oh, I've got to be out there on Google and I got to have reviews, which is important. And again, we'll talk more about that. But it's also really key that when somebody lands on your site, when they come to your website, when they find you on Google, that you've got that connection, you know, in that web chat available to them. What a lot of our customers do is they'll set up, and we have this on our platform, a chatbot. So like they come to their website, the basic questions can be answered really quickly. You know, how do I get directions to your facility? Do I have to wear a mask when I go and meet you, or we do this walkthrough? There's the 80% of questions that are the same over and over again that you can put and have answered on live chat or with the chatbot. And then it's okay, how do I engage them if they are live and be able to interact with them? And the third form is, again, switch it back over to text. So, hey, I'm showing another property. Let me get back to you as soon as I can. But we're in that one-to-one communication. It's a great way to set appointments. So Birdeye has lots of ways for you to help set appointments through that texting, make it really easy, streamline that process, because that is such a waste of time, sort of that back and forth of who's available when, and if it's doesn't necessarily need humans, we can sync up the calendars and things like that to make it a reality.
Absolutely. I think the more that we can automate things without losing that human touch, the more efficient and successful that you can be with things. It kind of goes with time management.
Yeah. I mean, look, again, we're all running around, and it's time is of the essence when these properties come up, and when you've got a showing, you've got to manage that. And the more you can be streamlined and even automated with things like a chatbot or this mass push out instead of going individually to people, really effective.
Absolutely. And so you can use text messaging to also collect feedback, right? Not just.
Yeah, that becomes one of the really key things. Like we said, that you much higher open and response rates on those things. But when we think about, sometimes during the process, gathering feedback on how you're doing, did you get what you need from that? Like, again, we want to be better as agents. We want to improve what we're doing. We want to get that feedback. But what becomes really powerful, and we sort of think of the triumvirate of this, is like, hey, I just finished a sale, either again buyer side, seller side, either one. One of three things you can do. One is you can ask for straight feedback. Hey, just give me feedback, and that's super valuable, and I can do that. And we usually think about surveys that way. And texting somebody a quick survey, even just a quick little, not go out to another link, nothing else, just a little, hey, how do I do? Give me a 1 through 10, and have them respond right in text. Like, super valuable to get that kind of direct feedback. The other is asking for a referral, right? So much of business in the real estate game is referrals, right? I'm going to use somebody that my friends use, my relatives use, whatever. Getting that referral and asking people to give you that referral, they're happy to do it, but you got to make it easy for them, right? So like, one of the things we do is we give you the ability to say, hey, give us a referral, give them the link, so that they can email it, text it, put it on social media on your behalf. All of a sudden, you've got your best customers that we're talking about advertising for you. And that's what people trust out there, right? They trust when they see their network that, hey, this realtor was phenomenal. They were super responsive. They helped me get a great price for my house, whatever that is. That goes a long way. And then, so it's, ask for direct feedback, ask for them to share it with their network. And then the third is like, hey, ask them to review you, online, right? Like, because that's really powerful when it can go that way. If you think about who leaves reviews most of the time, it's people who are upset, right? Like, they're so frustrated that they're going to be, oh, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to go say nasty things. I'm going to give you 1 star, all that stuff. But if you actually think about the percentage of people who had a great experience with you, but just like it was too hard for them, or they didn't think about, or didn't know the value of that review, they don't do it. So if you can make it really easy for them, or even make it part of your process, automate it, so that as soon as the deal is fully closed, maybe you wait a day or so, but you can set up that timing, have it automatically send them a review request, where it's literally 2 or 3 clicks on their phone because they're already logged into Google or they're already logged into Facebook there. It's so easy, and so many people will do it. And that's a huge benefit to your business of growing your reputation and having those kind of, additional 5 stars, from your happy clients out there. Goes so far.
Yeah, especially for, something as big as purchasing or selling a home. Like that's something that I wouldn't blindly go into unless I had a review. If I would vet the agent and read reviews or look at referrals, because that's a big transaction.
Yeah,
Takes a lot of
people.
trust.
Yeah, people are not just looking up the phone book or just doing a basic search and saying, oh, that guy's got 3 stars, it's probably okay. Like she looks good enough. Like no, like they want to either get the confidence from a friend or someone that they know, or at a minimum when they go and they find you there, they want to see. I mean, think how much realtors spend on advertising, right? And how much they put out there of flyers and the rest of it. If they just spend a fraction of that cost on making sure that they had a solid reputation and that they're, not even, and it's not like, oh, I gotta drown out the bad ones. No, you just need to show the truth and ask your good people to give you those reviews, and it goes a really long way. The other piece of that, just while we're on that, the other thing that does go a long way as well is responding to those reviews. If you do get a bad one or a good one, all of them, Google actually will rank you higher, based on the number of good stars that you have, but they'll also do it based on if you're reviewing often. And the other is the frequency of it. It's like how often you're getting, if like all your reviews are from 5 years ago, they don't count that nearly as much as, oh, I'm continuing to get good ones now. But that responding and making it, one of the things Birdeye does is allow you to either honestly automate or like in one place, again, directly in your phone, respond to those reviews online. So pretty powerful way to increase that presence.
Yeah, and it also gives you an opportunity to explain the benefits of what you do. Like a lot of times, we'll get reviews just talking about, oh, you help me save time and you help me save money, but that doesn't really talk about the products and what we do. So like I personally go in and respond to all of the reviews and talk about the different products that they have and how it benefited them.
Yeah, I mean, look, the other side is you'd be surprised how many people will change a review if you respond to it. A lot of them are really just looking for an outlet to be heard, right? And they don't have your direct number or they don't feel like they're being listened to, so they go there. And if you can genuinely respond, especially like, one of the things we do is we set up different filters. So like, hey, a 1-star review, with a comment, immediately sends an email or a notification to somebody so that they can go respond directly. A 5-star review, maybe we automate it to saying thank you or something like that, or whatever. But the other thing we've seen be powerful is you have that you have the online review, you respond to it, and you also then have the ability to move that into a text message, right? If this is a client that you've had before or whatever, how do you quickly bring that back in to a great conversation one-on-one where it doesn't have to be out in the public, those type of situations.
Exactly.
I have a question for you, Dave. We kind of talked about acquiring reviews and whatnot, but how can agents acquire more reviews?
Yeah, I mean, look, we talk about sort of both the one-to-one ability to do it, but it's also, there's 3 modes to it. One is one-to-one. So you're in a conversation with somebody, you've just had a great experience. Great, ask them for a review, right? Send them, and you can do that directly in the Birdeye link. Just, hey, we'll hit one more button, send them a review request via text. Super easy. The other is sort of that mass texting. If you've got an old database or you've got a bunch of people that you've worked with in the past, great, send them a big, campaign essentially that says, hey, we'd love if you would give me a review for my business. And then the other is to tie it into your additional system. So if you already have, some sort of CRM in place or other tools in place, depending on how big your office is, you can trigger it off of one of those actions. So like, an appointment finishes, something, a house closes, like those big activities, most of the systems that you have behind the scene, we can read that and automate that process of asking for that review. So again, sort of hand to hand, in mass, or automate it. All 3 are great strategies to get going with it.
Absolutely, yeah. Another question for you. So we've talked about the many ways that people can get in touch with agents through different types of technology, forms, that sort of thing, and how responding quickly is really the secret sauce. But if they can't or they're having trouble, how can they speed up this process?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we talked a little bit about things like the chat bot, right? Like something that can respond to the basic text quickly, right? I think the you know, having it mobile is super important. Like I said, not being having to wait for, you know, get back to your office to respond to these things or be front of your landline, you know, for that and centralize those numbers. But you know, again, just having the single unified platform is probably the best way to do it. And where you can, again, automate, you know, whether that's your 5-star reviews, you just want to, again, say thanks and not spend all day, you know, reading through them, or just even having your review centralized, right? To know that you don't have to go look at 5 different sites or, you know, go, hey, I got to get on Facebook, see what they're saying about me now. I got to go look at, you know, Google and see what they're saying. I got to go on Yelp and see what they're saying. Like, if all of that is centralized, also saves you a lot of time and efficiencies to be able to work with clients, because that's the job, right? Like you want as much time as possible face to face and interacting and you know and doing that part of the job. So being able to save that helps a lot. And here's a great example of, you know, the Novell Group, you know, where they're, you know, got 166 more reviews. That's going to stand out, right? That's the type of you know, view on Google where someone's gonna be like, yeah, okay, this guy's, you know, legit. I want to work with them. They've got the credibility.
Absolutely. So due to the pandemic, we've seen realtors embrace video tools to meet with clients and give open houses. What part does video play in comprehensive messaging strategy?
Look, I think this is more, you know, you talk about things that are going to be during the pandemic and certain things are going to go away and certain things are going to stay. I can't see this, you know, this going away, right? This is just going to be part of the overall process that we have when we look at a house, when we want to engage with people. There's you know, there's a couple aspects to it, right? There's the convenience of it, right? Like, oh, I can't spend all afternoon driving around, but I could flip up a quick, you know, if it's easy, I can quickly flip on the video and see, you know, do a quick virtual tour, even just to see, right? The speed that things are going at, you kind of almost have to be ready for that. And again, I think that keeps, I think the other thing that we all see, and, you know, and I encourage people, you know, on videos and webinars, whatever, to turn on their cameras, because it is so much more engaging. If you think about you're texting somebody or even you're on a phone call, you can't really read what they're saying, right? You just say, hey, here's the offer that I think we should put out there, and you hear silence. Well, if you can see their face going, you know, or they're, you know, they're, you know, you can read that emotion. And so much of this, you know, business is a relationship game, that having that video where you're constantly being able to read, adjust, you know, get that side of it is huge. And you know, the older generation as well, you know, sometimes again the texting becomes hard, whatever. Wherever you can engage them, and again, you got to make it easy though, by the way. You can't be like, oh, I got to download a whole nother set of software or whatever. One of the things we do in Birdeye is, you know, within that app we were talking about, it's literally one button, go to video, and there's no downloads, no plugins, whatever. It's got to be as easy as either FaceTime or Google or whatever, you know, that side of it, and it works so well. So yeah, there's the tours, those stick around, but again, just thinking about that video communication to really read your client as they're staying a little bit more remote, you know, it goes a long way.
No, it definitely adds that personal element, and like you said, it allows you to see how they're feeling and not just kind of read and assume things like you do with text messaging. And I personally prefer video conferencing whenever, you know, even meetings at work where we're in remote locations, I prefer video because it also forces you to not multitask. And when you're, you've got the camera on you, you are giving that person your undivided attention. Versus when you're on the phone or when you're texting, we're doing so many things at once. So that's one of the things that, I like the most about video is you've got that person's full attention, just like you would face to face.
Absolutely.
Yes. To close things off, what do you think the future of messaging is going to look like for the real estate industry?
Yeah, look, I think the future of messaging, like we've kind of talked about, has got to be sort of seamless and omni-channel. But I think the bigger thing is, again, how do we think about our clients, right? How do we think about our customers? That, yeah, I'm trying to attract as many as I can, but the real thing is, how do I have a great experience for them through the entire buying or selling journey? Right? Like that's your job as a realtor, is to shepherd them through that. And so many touch points along there will dictate how their experience goes. Right? And what's great is, and most of you out there do an amazing job at your job, and we got to get credit for that. And we've got to then be able to take that and easily leverage that to get more clients. Right? That's what you want to be selling. You don't want to be out there. You're not usually all marketers, and that's not what you're trying to do. You just want to take good care of your clients. And I don't think any of that goes away, no matter how digital everything gets, no matter how much online everything gets. You want to, leverage the digital. You want to leverage the technology, but it can't be the crutch. It's got to be what supports you to both grow your customer base and make it easy and convenient for your customers. So when we think about it, again, we think about this, we call it a flywheel, but essentially, again, take your happy customers, use them to drive more referrals and word of mouth out there, because that works so well. Use them to help you get found on things like Google when someone goes out and does a search, and make sure you've got those 5-star, as many 5 stars as you really deserve, by asking people for it, right? Making it convenient for them to convert, whether that's setting an appointment, doing web chat, like again, that real moment of, hey, I want to sign this person up as a client, I think they're the right one for me. And then through that entire process, how do you keep an ear on them? How do you make sure you're listening and getting the right feedback in the right way and being able to take actions on that? And for that, a partner like Birdeye can go a long way to support you in all those efforts.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you want to just touch on a little bit about how Birdeye could help agents? Just to kind of give, like, if you haven't said, if it's not all said already, if there's anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, look, I think if you break it down into, like we talked about up front, how do I attract more and get more clients up front? That's so important, right? You got to have that reputation online. You've got to be clean everywhere. Everyone's got to have the right information wherever they look for you and find you, right? Nothing worse than like, oh, I heard about this great realtor. I went online and like I can't find them, or when I find them, it's not properly represented, or their address is wrong in one place, or it's different than what it looks like on Google or the rest. Like, so just we help companies keep that all clean and straightforward, and again, getting that reputation and that recognition, and have tools for, like, again, things like referrals. Let's give you a seamless platform. You can even see the great customers or clients that pass to other people. It's, and I know you can't, give out gifts and do that stuff, because that's, not allowed on some of that stuff. But still, you can say thank you, and you can, you can see when good people are referring you to other people, and track that entire process of that referral. Again, listings, we mentioned the reviews, a big part of it, right? You want to be able to respond. You want to be able to request more reviews. You even can market, by the way, we didn't talk about this, but you can take the best reviews that you get online and you can promote those. You can put them up on Facebook, you can put them up on your website. How great is that, right? Like, nobody wants to hear me saying how, oh, I'm great, look how great I am, right? Like, that's, we're marketers, Betty, but people don't want to hear that from us, right? Like, they want to hear what other people are saying about us, right? And you want to, as a marketer, be able to showcase that. So a great sort of set of tools there. And then again, we've talked about, I think, a lot of the rest of these individual solutions that can provide a lot of value through that process, from this unified, inbox and messaging capabilities and appointments and surveys and the rest of it.
Yeah, I think, you said something key is using your own reviews and showcasing them on social media and in your marketing materials on your website. And sometimes I hear clients say that, oh, that's a little self-serving, but that's what social media also is meant to do, and you need to market yourself. So there's nothing self-serving about it. People do it all the time. It's actually very effective. And one of our products that we hear from our clients that they value the most is we have testimonial video templates. So if you get a 5-star review, yes, you could post about it and that's fine, but you could also make it into a really cool video that you're also sharing on social media. Or you're even sending in an email to your client saying like, hey, listen to what this person had to say, so that you're able to, use non-text content and use an engaging video format.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see on the screen, we have some examples here. I'd love to show everyone how you can incorporate a review into a video and make it really engaging. This is actually a product that Zentap offers.
Yeah, so to create a video like that, it takes probably 2 minutes.
Sorry, I don't know why it kept going. Sorry about that, buddy.
We already have your logo, your headshot, your contact information, and your brand colors. So once you, provide all of that, then creating any of these templates or those videos are just a few clicks, and you can use all of this to post on social, again, email, text, and use all the different methods we talked about.
Your website,
right?
YouTube channel, anywhere you can literally put video or embed it, you should definitely leverage these. Don't you agree? So Betty, if you wanted to talk a little bit more, we also, in addition to the videos, we offer testimonial flyers for those who want to have additional ways to leverage the reviews.
Yeah, so here's one of the templates. We have a few, but this is one template that you can use to take your 5-star review and put it into something that's branded, again, with your logo, your headshot, contact info, and use it on your website, marketing materials. You could turn it into a postcard if you're at an open house, however you want to use it, you can.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is a great calling card even. So,
and just to, give you a little more info on the different kind of products that we have, here's a list. I'm not going to go through all of it, but a lot of times we hear that the local market content is very valuable. Rachel, if you could go back, yeah. Here's some visuals.
Yeah, sorry. I'm a little touchy, sorry.
The other slide. So here's just some visuals so you can see some of the other types of content but there's local market snapshots, there's single data points, there's listing videos, flyers. So we have a lot of different types of content that we have automated through our dashboard that we post for you. And there's also content that you can create yourself.
All right, well, I think that kind of sums it up. We are at the point where we're ready for the Q&A. Have any of you any questions? Please do put them into the question tab. Right now, we're waiting for you to submit them. So please, we're all ears. We'd love to answer any questions that you have.
Yeah, whether it's about Zentap, Birdeye, online marketing, anything that you want to know about, we're here. Just type it in the chat.
Well, while we're waiting to see if anybody has any questions, Dave, Betty, did you two want to touch on any points maybe we might have breezed over, or anything we want to review with everyone real quick?
No, look, I think the great thing and the reason we sort of are doing this together, like I said, it's that online presence is so key, and having a great application or platform to work with your clients is one thing, then getting them to give you the reviews is the other, and then how do you really market it? And Birdeye takes it to one level, sort of help put it, but Zentap obviously takes it to the next level of how do you really turn that into really great looking collateral and spread that around as well, and putting it online and the videos. It's all super impressive, and that's what people love, right? They love to hear from other happy clients, and that's how they're going to pick their next realtor.
Yeah, so I have a couple questions that came in. So Kill wanted to know if Zentap posts videos on Instagram, and the answer is yes. We post listing videos, market data videos, but we also post informational content on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So things like industry relevant news about, mortgage rates, or decluttering a home for open houses, and curbside appeal, all that type of stuff, we're posting throughout the week on your social media sites for you. And then he also asked, is there a way to do a banner for my LinkedIn page? And I don't think LinkedIn has banners. At least I haven't seen that. Rachel, you would know better.
So I think what they're wondering is if we create a LinkedIn banner for them with the review. That isn't a service that we provide, but you can definitely create a custom header that shows at the top of your page, and just put in that header that you create a review. Just going on Fiverr and doing a little search for a graphic designer to do that, it's not going to cost you about $15 to get something like that done. It's definitely something that we should look into. It's a good product idea for us. And also, I see somebody asked, the branded templates, are they on Zentap or is this Birdeye? So the branded templates are for Zentap. Yeah, it's really the answer to that. I don't need to go on.
Yeah. And if anyone wants to type their email address in for us or for Birdeye to reach out to them and provide more info, we're happy to do that. Someone asked to show the last slide or two. I think it was the one with the visuals. Yeah, it's probably this one. And then someone said, hold on. With so many companies out there trying to gain our business, what is the big difference between what you do and companies that offer advertisements? This is a really good question. I know this space is very saturated with a lot of different options. We try to be the only all-in-one marketing solution. So we also have an email tool that we're launching, videos, like we said, lead generation, and based on what I've seen with competitor pricing, we are pretty competitive and have a lower price point. I don't know if that question was necessarily for us, or David, if you want to answer it on your end, maybe it's for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, on our side, right? Again, it's this unified platform that makes it so powerful. One place to get all your reviews, all your referrals, all of that, and all of the messaging and connections one-to-one with people. So, having that all together is great. And then again, teaming up with somebody like Zentap, where they can take those individual reviews and marketing ideas and make them beautiful. It's great.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, everyone. I think that was it, unless anyone has another question and they want to type it in on here. We will also have a recording of this webinar for anyone who registered. You can view the recording if you need to review anything that we covered. And if you have any questions about our services or Birdeye services, we have email addresses for you on this slide.
Sorry, Betty, a good question just popped up. What is the difference between Birdeye and Zentap?
Ooh, that is a good question.
It's actually a lot.
Well, we are more a content marketing company where we create content for you so that you don't have to worry about coming up with your social media content. That's our main strength and product is content.
And again, Birdeye is the software platform for all of the messaging, all the reviews, all the surveys, and the referrals. So, and again, as it says on here, if there's more interest, we're happy to dive deeper and learn more about what you're specifically looking for and what caught your eye. And you can either get me directly at dave@birdeye.com or sales@birdeye.com to dive deeper into it.
Yes, and when we follow up, I'll make sure that we mention the contact information for Birdeye as well, so that if any of you want to discover how you can leverage them to help with your messaging and reviews and acquiring more, definitely encourage you to reach out to them. And of course, we're here to help all of you agents in any way possible to market your listings. And we hope everyone enjoyed everything that we had to share today. Dave, thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Absolutely. Great. Thanks to you guys for having me, and thanks everyone.
Thank you. Thanks everyone who attended. Bye-bye.